There is so much new information. Like, how is anyone supposed to remember all this about leaks? Like, there's so much. There is so much. Okay. Anyways, before we start, I just want to shout out to these two guys. You guys are literally the best. Like, no joke. I love you both. Like, this was my first video ever, and it's nice to get positive feedback, you know? So, thank you. I love you. Now, let's get to the sponsor of this video, and it's sponsored by nobody, because I don't have subscribers. Okay, let's talk about how points work in League. In the last two leagues, we basically had increments of 10, 50, 100, 250 and 500 points, like depending on how hard the task is. This time, however, the increments pretty much, you get half the points, right? But the upside of that is that you don't have any area restrictions. So yes, you do get less points, but overall, Mode Oasis did confirm that even though you get less points per task, you should still receive overall the same amount of points you did in last leagues. So, good example of this is that last league you got 250 points for equipping a fire cape, but this time around you only get 125 points. But the difference here is that you can already go to Garangia, right? You don't have to unlock it, so you can just go do it and be fine with it, and that's pretty much makes up for it, right? So Mode Oasis also confirmed that all the tasks from last leagues have been basically put into this one, and they even added a few more in for us to complete. They also said that it's going to be impossible to complete all tasks, and I totally agree. Like, there was almost 1,000 tasks last league. Like, I can't imagine you completing 1,000 tasks. It's just too much, especially the end game content, right? Since all the areas are already unlocked, you have like a bigger choice to make where you want to go, right? Because last leagues you only get 5 different areas on the map. This league, it's everywhere, so you definitely have to think through what tasks you want to complete first. Points are gonna have so much more value this time around compared to last year. Last year we just unlocked a few relics and that's it, but this year pretty much all the game is unlocked with points, meaning skills, bosses, mini games, quests, everything is locked. So planning the best route to ensure you get everything unlocked is much more important this time around. That's everything with points. Let's move on to restriction. Like I mentioned before, there's no area restriction, right? Instead, there are a couple of new kind of restrictions. Jagex did mention that you can unlock everything if you play normally, so it's not like the biggest obstacle, but having everything restricted makes it like more dynamic, make people think what to unlock first and stuff like that. So you don't unlock skills or bosses with regular league points. Instead, you complete the task, you gain these Renown points, which is used to unlock pretty much everything in the game. It also scales with how difficult your task is. So let's say you get, you get like 10 thieving and you get 5 points for it. That also might give a single Renown point, right? And you get 20 Renown points, you can unlock a boss or a skill. What can you get for these Renown points? Well, firstly, skills. You will start off with 3 skills, and plus like an extra combat skill of your choice at the start. Those 3 skills are defense, thieving and fishing. It's simple. You gain Renown points, you unlock skills, you complete tasks, and so on and so on. So first thing that comes to my mind is skills that are considered more useful will have a higher cost required to unlock them. So let's say something like fire making. It will cost a lot less points to unlock than Slayer, because you have to make these choices, right? Fire making versus Slayer. One is a really useful skill, the other is, well, basically winter dots, right? So do I go for the more expensive? Do I go for the more useful skill? Or do I make like quick points with a skill that costs less to unlock, right? So personally, I think gathering resources skills are the way to go at start. So cooking, wood cutting, fire making, mining, skills like that can give you enough points to like pretty much unlock the rest of the game. Before we go on, quick shout out. If you like this sort of theory crafting, on January 18th, write it down. January 18th is when I do like a 16-hour stream to run every possible scenario. I'm gonna be like Doctor Strange. I'm gonna do every scenario on what you can possibly do on the first day of leagues. We're gonna theorycraft, we're gonna do a big stream. It's gonna be my first stream ever. If you wanna come out, if you wanna tell me what to do because I'm a dumbass, I don't know what the fuck am I doing. If you come join us. It's gonna be fun. It's one day before leaks come out. Twitch.tv/Scribus. This was your daily advertisement. Let's go on. The second thing you can unlock with Renown points are bosses. Straight away, all the Wildy bosses are unlocked, and Wildy will be safe dead, even in PvP, so that is something you can consider, right? Other players can kill you in Wilderness, but you don't lose your items. So far, the only other boss that is unlocked is the Mimic and Inferno. That's all the confirmation we've got so far. Everything else, even skilling bosses like Espori, free-to-play bosses, everything is locked behind points. Like we see on this picture, the easiest bosses have the least amount of points you need to unlock. So all the free-to-play bosses and so on. I imagine like God Wars, Raids, Slayer bosses, Gauntlet, Barrows, the money printing bosses, Warcat, Salra, more expensive. So you have to choose carefully and not bottleneck yourself. It's the same thing with skilling, right? Like I imagine bosses like Corrupted Gauntlet, even though the loot is good, imagine how many quests and requirements you need to even get there, right? So some mid-level bosses like Serachnis, Dagonet Kings, Giant Mole could be a better option at the start, because you can like compare it to like fire making a Slayer, right? One of the thing is easier to do, other one gives you more rewards. You might want to do the easy one first, so you unlock more points. I really think it's extra important how you spend your points in the first few days. Opening up the right skills and bosses could give you like a much easier path, and after you get over the first obstacle, it's pretty much easy mode onwards. One important thing, however, I highly do not recommend auto-completing quests at the start using points. Jagex says, I've seen few content creators say that, oh, I don't want to do this quest, I want to do that quest. Jagex said that you get fragments based on how big your experience drop is. And the biggest experience drops comes from quests, which means completing quests manually has the highest chance of receiving a fragment. Let's say completing a fighter arena. It's gonna take you like maximum 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you get the 70,000 experience drop. Compare that to like catching, like lobster. You get like 200 experience drop or whatever, like. So I think completing quests at the start is very important, that you don't use points to complete them and you do them yourself. That being said, later on, when you already have established the baseline for your points, completing few annoying quests like one small favor and so on might be like more useful than doing them. I imagine auto completing Dragon Slayer 2 to access 4 counted rune dragons, it might not be that bad of an idea, right? It's not 100% confirmed, but auto completing Druid Ritual could potentially unlock the Herblore skill. We just have to wait and see, but maybe you don't have to spend points to unlock Herblore. We'll see how that goes. That was pretty much it. Before I go, yesterday a new fragment was revealed, and I really like this one. Like, look at this picture. Imagine you need 10,000 planks to get 99 construction, and you activate this fragment. You get it to level 3 before you start construction, and now you only need 5,000 planks. It saves so much time. I feel like fragments are gonna get better and better the closer we get to the starting point, so it's nice to see something like this that saves time, saves like, the time is limited, right? We only have 6 weeks, so it's good to see fragments that save time. Not like last leaks where you have to get the mining outfit and it takes like whole day to get it. This was it. Even though there is so much information about leaks coming out, I am having such a blast theory crafting. Subscribe, let me know in the comments if you've already planned out your route for the leaks, and I'll see you guys in 2 days. I'm gonna start planning mine now. Bye.
My brothers don't die, we just pussy bop. I tell your girl to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off.